Hello and welcome to this episode about the life of one of the greatest inventors in history, Thomas Edison. He was a man who changed the world with his ideas and hard work. This is the inspiring story of how one person, with a dream and strong will, helped light up the world. Thomas Edison was born in 1847 in Ohio, United States. He was not a rich or famous child. In fact, he had many problems in school. His teachers thought he could not learn well. So, his mother decided to teach him at home. She believed in him. She helped him to read, learn science, and do small experiments. Edison always asked questions. He was curious about how things worked. This was the start of his journey as an inventor. When he was just 12 years old, he began working. He sold newspapers on trains and used the money to buy books and tools. He did experiments in a small lab on the train. He failed many times, but he never gave up. Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." These words show his positive thinking. Edison became famous for many inventions. The most well-known is the electric light bulb. Before that, people used candles or oil lamps. His light bulb made homes, schools, and cities brighter and safer. But Edison did more than just make the bulb. He built the first electric power system so people could use light in their homes. He also invented the phonograph, which could record and play sound, and helped improve the motion picture camera. Edison worked very hard. He often worked for 16 hours a day. He made over 1,000 inventions in his life. Some of them failed, but many changed the world. He believed that success comes from 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration, meaning that ideas are good, but hard work is even more important. Even when people did not believe in him, he kept going. He showed that you do not need to be perfect in school to be successful. What matters is your passion, your effort, and your never-give-up attitude. Today, we remember Thomas Edison not just for his inventions, but for his spirit. He showed the world that one person can make a big difference. He proved that failure is not the end, but a step towards success. As you listen to this episode, think about your own dreams. Like Edison, you can also learn, try, fail, and succeed. Let his story inspire you to keep going, even when things are hard. This is the story of Thomas Edison, the man who gave light to the world and showed us the power of never giving up. Chapter 1: Early Life and Education of Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was born on February 11, 1847, in a small town called Milan, in the state of Ohio, United States. He was the youngest of 7 children in his family. His father's name was Samuel Edison, and his mother's name was Nancy Edison. They were a kind and simple family. His mother used to be a school teacher, and she played a big role in young Thomas's life. As a child, Thomas was very curious. He always asked questions. He liked to learn how things worked. He would look at machines, toys, and objects, and try to understand them. He was different from other children. He had trouble hearing and did not do well in school. His teachers thought he was not smart. They said he asked too many questions and did not listen in class. After only a few months in school, Thomas's mother decided to teach him at home. She believed he was a bright and special boy. She gave him books to read and helped him learn in his own way. She taught him subjects like reading, writing, and science. Thomas loved reading books. One of his favorite books was about science experiments. This book helped him learn how to do small tests and try new ideas. Thomas also liked to do things with his hands. He built a small lab in the basement of his house. He collected bottles, wires, and other tools. He started doing his own science experiments. Sometimes the experiments failed, and sometimes they worked. But Thomas was happy to try again and again. He learned that failure is a part of learning. When he was 12 years old, he started selling newspapers and candy on a train. He also sold vegetables and magazines. He worked hard and saved his money. With the money he earned, he bought more books and science tools. He even set up a small laboratory on the train where he did his experiments. One day, one of his experiments caused a fire, and he was asked to leave the train. But he never stopped trying. Even though he did not get a lot of formal education, Thomas Edison learned many things by reading and practicing. His mother's support and his own interest in learning helped him grow. He taught himself about electricity, chemistry, and machines. These early experiences shaped his future as an inventor. Thomas Edison's early life shows us that learning does not always happen in a classroom. With curiosity, hard work, and support from family, anyone can learn and grow. This chapter of his life reminds us that asking questions and trying new things can lead to great success. This is the story of how a curious boy, who struggled in school, became one of the world's greatest inventors, all because he never stopped learning. Chapter 2: First Inventions and Telegraph Work of Thomas Edison. After working on the train and doing experiments in his small lab, Thomas Edison became more interested in machines and communication. He wanted to learn about the telegraph, a machine that sent messages using wires and electricity. In the 1800s, the telegraph was very important. People used it to send messages quickly over long distances. Edison thought this was amazing, and he wanted to work with it. When Edison was a teenager, he learned how to use the telegraph. He practiced sending and receiving messages. He worked very hard to become good at it. Soon, he got a job as a telegraph operator. This job allowed him to work in different cities and meet many people. It also gave him time to think about how he could make the telegraph better. Edison worked at night so he could do experiments during the day. He used his free time to learn more about electricity and machines. He tried many new ideas. Some worked, some failed, but Edison kept going. He believed that hard work and trying again were the keys to success. One of Edison's first inventions was an improved telegraph machine. It could send more messages at one time. This was very useful for businesses and news companies. Another early invention was a vote recorder for the government. It helped count votes faster. But people were not ready to use it, so it was not a success. Even though this made Edison sad, he did not stop inventing. Edison moved to Boston to find more chances to work on inventions. There, he met other inventors and businessmen. He also sold one of his first useful inventions, a special telegraph that printed messages on paper. He earned money from this, and it helped him start his own small workshop. Later, he moved to New York City, where he fixed a broken machine in a company office. The owner was so happy that he gave Edison a job. This job helped Edison continue his inventions. He worked with other smart people and started to make better machines. He also began to understand how to sell his inventions and make money. During this time, Edison's telegraph work became well known. He made machines that were faster and more accurate. These machines helped people send and receive messages easily. His work helped many companies and people communicate better. Edison's time working with the telegraph was important. It helped him learn how machines work. It gave him experience with electricity and made him confident in his skills. These early years were the building blocks of his future success. This chapter shows how Thomas Edison used hard work, curiosity, and creativity to start his journey as an inventor. He turned simple ideas into useful inventions that helped many people. From fixing telegraphs to making new machines, Edison's early inventions were the first steps on his road to greatness. Chapter 3: The Menlo Park Laboratory of Thomas Edison. After Thomas Edison became known for his telegraph inventions, he wanted a place where he could work full-time on new ideas. In 1876, he built a special laboratory in a place called Menlo Park, in the state of New Jersey, United States. This laboratory was very different from others. It was one of the first places in the world made only for inventing new things. Edison called it his invention factory. The Menlo Park Laboratory had many rooms and tools. There were machines, wires, glass, batteries, and books. Edison hired smart workers to help him. They worked together like a team. Each person had a job. Some did experiments, some built models, and some tested the inventions. Edison worked long hours with them. Sometimes, they worked all night. They were excited to make new things and solve problems. At Menlo Park, Edison made some of his most famous inventions. In 1877, he invented the phonograph, a machine that could record and play sound. This was the first time in history that people could listen to a recorded voice. It was like magic to people of that time. Edison recorded the words, "Mary had a little lamb," and people were amazed. The phonograph made Edison very famous. Many people began to call him the Wizard of Menlo Park. Another great invention made at Menlo Park was the electric light bulb. Before this, people used candles or oil lamps for light. Edison wanted to make a safe and long-lasting electric light. It was not easy. He and his team tried hundreds of materials to find the best one for the inside of the bulb. After many failures, they finally used carbon filament, which worked well. In 1879, Edison showed his electric light to the public. People were amazed. The dark streets and homes could now be bright. But Edison did not stop with just the light bulb. He also created a full electric power system. He knew that people needed a way to get electricity in their homes and offices. So, he built machines to make and send electricity through wires. This helped bring electric light to many cities. Menlo Park became a symbol of invention and hope. People from all over the world visited the lab. They wanted to see where the future was being built. Edison proved that with a good team, hard work, and a place to create, anything was possible. This chapter of Edison's life shows us the power of working together and never giving up. The Menlo Park Laboratory was more than just a building. It was the heart of new ideas and dreams. Thanks to Edison and his team, the world became a brighter and more connected place. Thomas Edison once said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." At Menlo Park, he showed what that really means. Chapter 4. Invention of the Phonograph by Thomas Edison. In 1877, Thomas Edison made one of his most surprising and exciting inventions, the phonograph. This machine could record and play sound. Before this, no one in the world had ever heard a machine talk or sing. People were shocked and amazed. It was something completely new. Edison did not plan to invent the phonograph at first. He was working on improving the telegraph and telephone. He was trying to make machines that could send messages better and faster. While working, he had an idea. What if we could also record human voices and play them back? This idea was the beginning of the phonograph. He started thinking about how to do it. He knew that sound is made by vibrations. When we talk, our voice makes the air move. Edison wanted to find a way to catch those movements. So, he used a needle and a piece of tinfoil. When someone spoke into the machine, the needle moved with the sound. It made marks, or lines, on the tinfoil. Then, when he turned the machine again, the needle followed those same lines and made the same sound. It worked like magic. The first words that Edison recorded were, "Mary had a little lamb." When people heard the machine speak those words back, they were amazed. Some were even scared. They could not believe a machine could talk. Newspapers called Edison a genius, and some people even called him a wizard. The phonograph was a very new and special invention. It changed the world in many ways. Before the phonograph, people could only hear music or speeches live. Now, they could listen to music, poems, or voices anytime they wanted. It was the beginning of recorded sound. Later, people used phonographs in homes, schools, and even offices. Edison believed the phonograph could be used in many ways. He thought it could help people learn languages, record family voices, send voice messages, and even help blind people by letting them listen to books. Some of these ideas came true many years later. The first phonographs were simple, and they used tinfoil, which was not strong. Later, Edison and others made better versions with wax cylinders. These could hold more sound and were easier to use. Over time, the phonograph became better and more popular. Edison's invention of the phonograph showed his great thinking. He saw a problem, had an idea, and worked hard to make it real. He once said, "Anything that won't sell, I don't want to invent. Its sale is proof of utility, and utility is success." With the phonograph, he found both utility and success. This invention helped Thomas Edison become famous all over the world. More importantly, it changed how people enjoyed music and shared ideas. The phonograph opened the door to the music and sound technology we use today, from records to radios to smartphones. The phonograph was not just a machine, it was a new way to connect people through sound. Chapter 5: Development of the Electric Light Bulb by Thomas Edison. One of Thomas Edison's most famous inventions is the electric light bulb. Before this invention, people used candles, gas lamps, or oil lamps to light their homes. These were not safe or clean. They gave only a little light and could easily cause fires. Edison wanted to make something better, a safe, cheap, and bright electric light for everyone. Edison was not the first person to think about the electric light. Other inventors had already tried to make electric lights before him. But those lights did not last long or were too expensive. Edison wanted to make a light that was strong, simple, and could be used in every home and office. In 1878, Edison and his team at Menlo Park began working on this big idea. They tried many different materials to find the right one for the part inside the bulb called the filament. The filament is the small wire inside the bulb that glows when electricity passes through it. At first, they used metal wires, but these burned out quickly. They tested thousands of materials. Edison and his team worked day and night, trying one thing after another. They never gave up. Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His hard work and patience helped him move forward. Finally, in 1879, Edison found the answer. He used a carbon filament made from cotton thread. When this filament was placed inside a glass bulb with no air, a vacuum, it glowed brightly and lasted for many hours. This was a big success. Edison had made a working electric light bulb. But he didn't stop there. Edison knew that people needed a way to use the light in their homes and streets. So, he also created a complete electric power system. He built power stations, switches, and wires to send electricity to homes and buildings. In 1882, he opened the first electric power station in New York City. Soon, more and more cities began using electric lights. Edison's invention changed the world. People could now read, work, and enjoy life after dark. Streets became safer, and homes became brighter. Businesses stayed open longer. Life became more comfortable and productive. The light bulb became a symbol of new ideas and hope. It showed how one person's dream and hard work could improve life for everyone. Edison's light bulb is still one of the most important inventions in history. This chapter shows us how Edison worked step by step to solve a problem. He did not find success quickly, but he kept trying. His story teaches us the value of patience, teamwork, and never giving up. Thanks to Thomas Edison, the world became a brighter place, in every way. Chapter 6: Battle of the Currents of Thomas Edison. After Thomas Edison invented the electric light bulb, he wanted to bring electric power to homes, streets, and factories. To do this, he created the first electric power system. His system used direct current, or DC. This type of electricity flows in one direction and was good for short distances. Edison believed DC was the best and safest way to give people electric power. But another inventor named Nikola Tesla had a different idea. Tesla believed that alternating current, or AC, was better. AC could travel much longer distances and was more powerful. Tesla worked with a businessman named George Westinghouse, and together, they built machines to use AC power. Soon, a big fight started between Edison and Westinghouse. This fight became known as the Battle of the Currents. Edison wanted people to use his DC system, so he started to say bad things about AC. He said AC was dangerous and could kill people. He even showed how AC could hurt animals to scare the public. He believed this would help people choose DC over AC. Edison thought safety was the most important thing. But Westinghouse and Tesla said that AC was better for the future. AC could bring power to homes and cities that were far away from the power station. It was also cheaper and easier to use. More and more scientists began to support AC power. The big moment in this battle came when the city of Chicago was getting ready for the World's Fair in 1893. The fair needed a lot of electricity to light up the buildings and streets. Westinghouse won the contract to power the fair using AC. When people saw how well AC worked, they were very impressed. The lights were bright, safe, and beautiful. After that, many cities began to choose AC instead of DC. Edison slowly lost the battle, and AC became the main way of sending electricity around the world. Even though Edison's DC system was the first, Tesla's and Westinghouse's AC system became the future. The battle of the currents was not just a fight between two kinds of electricity. It was also a competition between two big ideas. Edison focused on safety and control, while Tesla and Westinghouse believed in power and distance. Both sides worked hard and wanted to change the world. In the end, AC won, but Edison's work was still very important. Without his first power system, the world would not have moved forward so quickly. He helped people understand the power of electricity and how it could change their lives. This chapter teaches us that even great inventors do not always win every battle. But they still help build the future. Edison may have lost the battle of the currents, but he remained one of the most important inventors in history. His fight brought new ideas and new energy to the world. Chapter 7. Expanding into motion pictures of Thomas Edison. After his success with the electric light bulb and power systems, Thomas Edison wanted to work on something new. In the late 1880s and early 1890s, he became interested in motion pictures, pictures that move like videos or movies. At that time, no one had ever seen a real film. People only saw still photos or short moving toys. Edison wanted to make pictures that could move and tell a story. Edison believed that just like sound could be recorded using the phonograph, pictures could also be recorded and played. He wanted to make a machine that could do this. So, he and his team started working on a new invention. They built a device called the kinetograph. It was one of the first motion picture cameras. It could take many pictures very quickly, one after another. When played together, these pictures looked like they were moving. To watch these moving pictures, Edison also made another machine called the kinetoscope. This was not like today's movie screens. It was a box with a small window. Only one person could look inside at a time. When the film moved, the pictures inside looked like they were moving. People were amazed to see a man dancing, a horse running, or a smile on someone's face, all in motion. Edison opened the first kinetoscope parlor in 1894 in New York City. People paid money to watch short films. These films were simple, usually just a few seconds long. But they were very exciting for people who had never seen anything like it before. To make these films, Edison built a special studio called the Black Maria. It was one of the first movie studios in the world. The building was small and covered in black material. It could turn around to follow the sun, so there was always enough light for filming. Inside, Edison's team made short movies of dancers, athletes, actors, and simple scenes. Later, other inventors improved motion picture technology. Soon, films could be shown on big screens to large groups of people. Even though Edison's early machines were not used forever, his work helped start the movie industry. He helped people see what was possible with moving pictures. Edison's work with motion pictures shows that he always looked for new ideas. He liked to explore different areas of science and art. He used what he learned from other inventions to create new ones. His creativity and curiosity helped him bring pictures to life. This chapter reminds us that big things often start small. The short films made by Edison and his team helped create the world of movies we enjoy today, from silent films to modern cinema. Thomas Edison did not just bring light to the world, He also helped bring stories, smiles, and magic to the screen. Chapter 8. Later Inventions and Business Ventures of Thomas Edison. After his great success with the light bulb, phonograph, and motion pictures, Thomas Edison continued to invent new things. He never stopped working or thinking. Even in his later years, he was full of ideas. He believed that invention was a way to make life better for everyone. One of Edison's important later inventions was related to batteries. He wanted to create a strong, safe, and long-lasting battery. He believed batteries could be used in electric cars, which were just starting to appear. Edison worked for many years to make better batteries. He created a nickel-iron battery, which was stronger than older batteries. Even though electric cars did not become popular at that time, Edison's batteries were used in trains, ships, and factories. Edison also worked on improving cement and concrete. He wanted to make houses and buildings that were cheap and easy to build. He even had an idea to build concrete houses with furniture and walls made from cement. The idea did not become very popular, but Edison's work helped improve the use of cement in modern buildings. Besides inventing, Edison also became a successful businessman. He started many companies. One of his most famous companies was General Electric, also known as GE. This company made electric lights, machines, and power systems. GE grew to become one of the biggest companies in the world. It helped bring Edison's inventions to millions of people. Edison knew that to make inventions useful, they had to be produced and sold. He built factories to make phonographs, light bulbs, and other devices. He created jobs for many people and helped grow the American economy. He also worked with other inventors and businessmen to turn ideas into real products. Even though Edison had many successes, he also had failures. Not every invention worked. Some ideas were too early for their time. But Edison never gave up. He believed that mistakes were just steps on the path to success. He said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time." In his later life, Edison also became interested in nature and farming. He worked with his friends Henry Ford and Harvey Firestone to find a new kind of rubber for tires. They wanted to grow plants in America that could be used to make rubber. This work showed Edison's love for science and nature, even outside of machines. Edison continued to work until the last years of his life. He had over 1,000 patents, which means he created more than 1,000 different inventions. Many of them changed the way people lived, worked, and communicated. This chapter shows us that Thomas Edison was not only a great inventor, but also a smart businessman and a hard worker. He believed in progress, and he helped build the modern world. His later years were full of learning, building, and dreaming, just like the rest of his life. Chapter 9. Personal Life and Challenges of Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was not only a great inventor, he was also a husband, a father, and a man who faced many challenges in life. His personal life had happy moments, but also many struggles. Just like everyone else, Edison had to deal with problems and learn how to stay strong. Edison was born in 1847 in Ohio, United States. From a young age, he was curious and full of questions. But he had a hard time in school. His teachers said he could not learn well. He only went to school for a few months. After that, his mother taught him at home. She believed in him and helped him become the man he later became. One of the biggest challenges Edison faced was his hearing problem. As a child, he had an illness that caused him to lose much of his hearing. Later, an accident may have made it worse. Edison was almost deaf for most of his life. But he never saw this as a weakness. He once said that being hard of hearing helped him focus better on his work. It made him stronger, not weaker. In 1871, Edison married his first wife, Mary Stilwell. She was kind and supportive. They had 3 children together. Sadly, Mary died young in 1884. Edison was heartbroken. But after some time, he found love again. In 1886, he married Mina Miller, a smart and caring woman. Together, they had 3 more children. Edison loved his family, even though he spent many hours in his lab. Sometimes, he worked so much that he forgot to eat or sleep. Edison was known for his hard work. He often worked 16 to 20 hours a day. He slept only a few hours each night and even took naps in his lab. He believed that success came from hard work, not luck. But this also made it hard for him to spend time with his family. His work was his passion, and it always came first. Even though Edison was very famous, he had many failures. Not all his inventions were successful. Some of his ideas were too early for the time, and others simply did not work. People laughed at some of his projects. But Edison never gave up. He saw failure as a lesson. He said, "I failed my way to success." Edison also had to deal with criticism and competition. Other inventors and businessmen did not always agree with him. He had big battles like the one with Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse during the Battle of the Currents. But even when he lost, he kept going and kept inventing. This chapter shows that Thomas Edison was not perfect. He had problems, pain, and loss. But he never let those things stop him. He worked hard, loved his family, and kept moving forward. His life teaches us that we can face challenges and still reach our goals, if we believe in ourselves and never give up. Chapter 10: Legacy and Impact on the Modern World of Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison died on October 18, 1931, but his work and ideas are still alive today. He left behind a strong legacy, a lasting memory of everything he gave to the world. Edison's inventions and hard work changed the way people live, work, and communicate. His impact on the modern world is all around us. Edison made over 1,000 inventions during his life. Some of them, like the light bulb, phonograph, and motion picture camera, completely changed the world. Because of the light bulb, homes, schools, offices, and streets became brighter and safer. Today, we cannot imagine life without electric lights, and it all started with Edison's idea. His phonograph was the first machine to record and play sound. It opened the door for music players, CDs, and digital music. Thanks to Edison, we can listen to music, voices, and stories anytime we want. His motion picture camera helped start the film industry. Now, millions of people enjoy movies in theaters and on phones and computers, and it began with Edison's dream of moving pictures. Edison also helped create the electric power system. He built the first power station and gave people electricity in their homes. This changed everyday life. It helped other machines work and started the growth of modern cities. Today, almost everything we use runs on electricity: lights, fans, computers, phones, and more. Edison's ideas made that possible. But Edison's legacy is not only about machines. It is also about his way of thinking. He believed in hard work, curiosity, and never giving up. Even when he failed, he kept trying. He once said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." That means success is mostly about working hard, not just having smart ideas. Edison also showed the world how to turn inventions into businesses. He started many companies, including General Electric, GE, which is still one of the biggest companies in the world. He created jobs, supported other inventors, and helped build the American economy. His work showed that science, business, and creativity can work together. Edison's name is now a symbol of invention and innovation. Schools, streets, awards, and companies are named after him. He is remembered not just as an inventor, but as a man who shaped the modern world. His life teaches us many lessons: believe in yourself, learn from failure, keep asking questions, and never stop dreaming. Edison was not born rich or famous. He had many problems in life, including hearing loss and school troubles. But he worked hard, stayed curious, and made history. This chapter reminds us that one person with big ideas and strong effort can change the world. Thomas Edison's inventions gave light, sound, and pictures to the world. But his true gift was the power of thinking, trying, and never giving up. His legacy will shine forever. Vocabularies. 1. Inventor, a person who creates new things that have never been made before. 2. Phonograph, a machine that records and plays sound, like voices or music. 3. Filament, a thin wire inside a light bulb that glows when electricity passes through it. 4. Patent, a legal paper that gives someone the right to be the only person to make or sell an invention. 5. Laboratory, a special room or building where scientists or inventors do experiments. 6. Failure, the opposite of success, when something does not work the way you wanted. 7. Legacy, what a person leaves behind after they die, such as ideas, inventions, or memories. 8. Curious, wanting to know or learn more about something. 9. Electricity, a form of energy that powers lights, machines, and many other things. 10. Motion pictures, moving images, also called movies or films, that tell a story or show something happening. Quiz questions. 1. Where was Thomas Edison born? 2. What job did Edison do when he was 12 years old? 3. What was the name of Edison's famous invention lab? 4. What were the first words Edison recorded on the phonograph? 5. What material did Edison use for the filament in the successful light bulb? 6. Who supported the use of alternating current, AC, against Edison's direct current, DC? 7. What was the name of Edison's early motion picture viewer? 8. What kind of battery did Edison invent in his later years? 9. What serious personal challenge did Edison face for most of his life? 10. What is the name of the famous company Edison helped to start that still exists today? Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed learning with us. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. Your support helps us grow and bring you more inspiring stories and easy English learning content. Do you have a topic you'd like us to cover in our next video? Maybe a famous person, an invention, or a country? Let us know in the comments or messages. We'd love to hear your ideas. You can find answers in the description. Thanks again, and keep learning with us. See you in the next video.